Today, we're digging into a single, powerful idea from Adam Ku's book, I Am Gifted, So Are You, that could literally change your life. It's all about mastering your time, which, when you think about it, is really about mastering your life. So let's jump right in.
Okay, so if you want to master your life, it all starts with one simple truth. Time is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, or how much money you have. You get the exact same 24 hours in a day as everybody else. The real question is, what are you doing with them?
I mean, we've all been there, right? The day ends, you're just drained, and you feel like you were running around all day but got nothing meaningful done. It's so frustrating. But what if the problem isn't that you're running out of time?
And this right here, this is the whole mindset shift we need to make. The most successful people on the planet don't have some secret stash of extra hours. They just use their time differently. They treat it like an investment. You can either let it just disappear, or you can intentionally invest it into building the future you actually want.
All right, let's get real for a second and talk about the stakes here, because they are unbelievably high. The cost of not investing your time wisely isn't just about one bad day or a missed deadline. Oh no, it's way, way bigger than that.
This is such a critical question, because when we hear wasted time, we usually think of just being lazy, right? But the book gives us a much sharper, way more useful definition.
So here's the deal. Wasted time is anything that isn't pulling you towards your goals. Think about it. If your goal is to be a top student, then hours spent gaming is a liability. But if your goal is to be a professional esports player, then that same time is practice. It's all about whether your actions line up with your ambitions. That's it.
6 hours. I know, it might not sound like the end of the world. It's a little social media scrolling, binging a TV show, maybe just putting things off. It feels like a small, tiny leak in your day. But what happens when that little leak keeps going, day after day, year after year?
20 years. Just let that sink in for a second. 20 years. Wasting just 6 hours a day, a quarter of your day, on stuff that doesn't help you reach your goals adds up to losing 2 entire decades of your life. Can you even imagine what you could build, what you could learn, or who you could become with an extra 20 years? That's the real cost.
Okay, so if the stakes are that high, what's the fix? Well, it's not some magic time management hack. It's a huge shift in thinking. You stop trying to manage the clock, and you start managing your choices.
And this is the secret sauce. Most people just react to whatever feels urgent at the moment. But successful people are proactive. They deliberately choose to focus on what's truly important. They get that the life they build comes from the quality of their choices, not just how fast they can get things done. So how do we actually do this? How do we make better choices? Well, Adam Ku gives us this super simple but really powerful framework for thinking about it. Let's break down these 4 quadrants.
Picture this grid, right? On one side, you're asking, does this activity get me closer to my goals? Yes or no? And then across the top, you're asking, is this urgent? Does it need my attention right now? Yes or no? Every single thing you do fits into one of these 4 boxes. So you've got quadrant 1, which is for crises, stuff that's both urgent and important, like a project due tomorrow. Then there's quadrant 3 for interruptions, things that feel urgent but aren't actually important, like a pointless phone call. Quadrant 4 is easy. That's just pure time wasting. Not urgent, not important, like mindless scrolling. But the magic, the real secret to success, lives in quadrant 2, the important but not urgent stuff. This is where you plan, you learn, you build, you prevent crises from ever happening in the first place. And check this out. This is where it all clicks into place. The data from the book shows that most people live in reaction mode. They spend a tiny 5% of their time in that crucial P2 quadrant. But successful students, they flip that completely. They invest a whopping 60% of their time in P2, planning, preparing, and preventing problems. They aren't just putting out fires, they're designing their own success. That, right there, is the game changer.
All right, knowing all this is great, but putting it into action? That's what really matters. So let's turn this theory into a real, practical plan you can use to start designing the life you actually want.
This might be the single biggest takeaway from this whole thing. Most people just fill their calendars with a bunch of random tasks and then try to figure out what's important. Successful people do the exact opposite. They figure out their most important P2 priorities, like studying, exercising, working on that big project, and they put those on the calendar first. Everything else has to fit in around them.
So here it is, your simple 3-step action plan. First, get super clear on what you actually want. What are your goals? Second, figure out the P2 activities that will get you there. The deep work, the planning, the learning. And third, and this is the most important part, you schedule those priorities first. Block them out on your calendar before anything else has a chance to steal that time. You have to treat them like unbreakable appointments with your future self.
You know, in the end, it all boils down to this one powerful line from the book. This isn't really about productivity hacks or being busy. It's about taking deliberate, conscious control over the direction of your life, understanding that every single hour is a building block for your future. And that's the question I want to leave you with. When you look back at how you spent your last 24 hours, were you laying the foundation for the life you dream of? Or were you just kind of piling up bricks with no plan? The choice, and all the power that comes with it,